We are doing Rustom today, and with me I have Reena, who's my neighbor. Hi, Reena.
Hi, hello.
And we are going to be talking about this movie, which is doing quite well at the box office, by the way, and has beaten Mohenjo-daro hands down in terms of box office takings. In the cinema that I go to, by the way, it's a ratio of 6:1. Wow. I mean, wow. Nobody had foreseen that coming. Uh, so Rustam is, as everybody knows, about a real life case that happened in the Indian Navy. Apparently, it's the last case that was tried by the jury, and after that, we've reverted to judges. I'm not sure that's really worked better, but that's the way it is. The movie says right up front, though it's inspired by real events, it's not really true to, let's say, how things happened. There's a lot of cinematic liberty taken. There's a lot of stuff which could never really have happened. Lots of flaws, let's put it that way. But in its essence, the story is about a naval officer who comes back, finds his wife is having an affair, and then goes and shoots her lover dead. The lover is extremely well connected, and his sister steps in and also tries to get him convicted. There's a whole lot of other angles in the middle as well, and we have, of course, Akshay in the lead role, and there's Elena De Cruz, who's the wife. There's Isha Gupta, who's the sister. Arjun Bajwa, who's the lover, and you have lots of excellent performances and roles by Pavan Malhotra, Kumud Mishra, etc., who of course are Neeraj Pandey's staple go-to actors. So, Reena, your thoughts on the movie?
I liked the movie,
Okay.
and I like Akshay Kumar.
Okay.
I'm a big fan
Yes.
of Akshay Kumar,
Okay.
and especially Men in Uniform,
Wow.
to be
Okay.
precise.
All right.
So, yes, I liked it. Yeah.
Why? Anything that stood out for you?
I actually liked the movie because it was shot in that era.
Right.
I liked the costumes, I liked the vintage cars,
Oh wow. Yeah.
and it was quite appealing.
Okay.
The
Yeah.
whole scenario was quite appealing.
Okay. Now, cool. So the movie is ridden with flaws. I second half especially. I think it's that's when the flaws become more and more apparent as you move into the court trial phase. The first half actually is very nicely set up. It's quite tight. It moves from point to point extremely well. No detours, etc. Really, I mean, one sure way that you can tell when a movie is gripping the audience is by the number of times they look at their mobile phones. And the only time that happened in the first half was when one song came in. So apart from that song, where I was watching, it was literally people were hooked onto the screen. But the second half really meanders. I think they enter into, let's call it, the Hindi serial territory where you get multiple shots of the same thing, different angles, things like that. Loud music interrupting. And like I said, in a real court system or in a real court scenario, half the things that are showed don't happen. What does work for the film, though, in the second half are the little moments of humor. And I think that should bring us to the performances. So, Reena, apart from Akshay and the man in uniform, the dashing man with the pencil mustache, anything else in the film? Anybody else you noticed?
Yes, I liked a couple of character roles. One that is played by Pavan Malhotra
Yeah, the
as the
inspector.
inspector. Yeah, and I also liked the paper boy.
Oh
These
yeah.
two characters I found was very very interesting.
So basically, Kumud Mishra runs a newspaper. He's a Parsi. He runs this newspaper and plays a kind of a key role in the film as well. And there's this little paper boy, little kid. I've seen him in another film. I don't know his name, and he is really good. He comes up with these little lines to try and sell his newspapers.
Yeah.
I thought that was very good.
Those were-
Even Kumud Mishra's assistant, the guy who's the photographer,
Photograph,
was funny too. There's a lady who works as the maid. She was, I think, in her court scene
Yes,
quite
yeah.
hilarious too.
Yes.
So there's a lot of these little touches that come about, and I think it worked really well. So that's how the movie worked.
Yes.
Any in terms of anybody else that we noticed? What did you think of Ileana De Cruz and Isha Gupta?
They were okay.
So I think Ileana De Cruz had a really tough role to perform. I mean, here's a woman who has to look appealing, then she has to look guilty,
Yes. Yeah.
then she has to look innocent, you know.
Yeah.
So I thought it was a very tough role. I thought she got it quite well. I mean, keeping her eyes down a lot of the times, making those big eyes. Like,
Okay.
she was good for the part. And Isha Gupta was basically the sultry siren of that era. Lots of cleavage,
Yes, yeah.
which is always good.
Good.
And she smirks, she pouts, she
Yeah.
grimaces, she
Yeah.
casts sinister glances. Usually at the lawyer, who's by the way not doing
Not
that good a job,
yeah.
but he was good too in what he was asked to do. Reena, key question, rating.
I would give it 6 out of 10.
Okay.
The movie, although there were very lots of captivating moments, I found there were flaws.
Yeah.
Like the songs, I felt were insipid,
Okay.
and usually played at the
Wrong time. Yeah.
You know, then like you mentioned the masala in the courtroom was a little more, but although the humor was good,
Yeah.
but yeah, like those I
Yeah.
felt were really
So I have a similar rating. I have actually the same rating as Reena, and 6 on 10. I think it's definitely worth a one-time watch. At 150 minutes, it could easily have been 120 or 130. 15-20 minutes to chop off here would have made it a much better film. But it's Hindi cinema. We like our little bit of emotion, and the courtroom drama, like I said, with those little touches, despite its flaws, keeps you hooked towards till the end. And Akshay was very good.
very good.
Men in uniform, I tell you.
Definitely.
Okay. That appeal always works. Anyways, thanks so much, Reena. Thank you for
you.
coming in.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
guys. Bye.